I said to Charlotte this would be the perfect opportunity to do a bit of vlogging because, and I'm trying to look at the camera lens here, because we are currently on a weekend away and we are down in the southeast, Kent, that's the word I was looking for. And it pretty much is the middle of nowhere, and that's what we're looking for, somewhere in the sticks, very far away from city living. And so, yeah, I'll show you what we're doing now. We're making some kind of brunch, breakfast, and show you the digs. So it's in this kind of converted barn, and we're in the loft. So this is where the bed is, and you can see like everything outside is just rural kind of countryside, as it were. We got here last night. Ada's with us as well, aren't you? Who's a little nightmare. So then we come through here and it's all just kind of one floor, as it were. Just a bath in the middle. Got a nice TV here, and then we're making brunch. So I've got some sourdough, avocado. I've got some eggs, which I had some trouble peeling this one here. And we've got some mushrooms on the go, some baked beans, some toast, yes, the sourdough there, and then the little bathroom in here, and then this is the door, so it's nice and cute. And this is all rather well timed for me because I don't need to train because I'm deloading, so I haven't trained since Wednesday, so I took Wednesday, Thursday off, Friday, no. Thursday, Friday off, Saturday, Sunday off. I'll get back in the gym on Monday. So just taking those days off. I trained hard on Tuesday and Wednesday. And Cliff also combined the deload with a diet break, so my calories are higher. Hence, just being able to have a bit more flexibility to enjoy this. So it's been nice. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk to the camera because Charlotte is just over there trying to get a barbecue lit for our dinner, but failing, unfortunately, because we just don't have the tools required to do that. And I thought I'd talk to you about this deload. So I've been experimenting a little bit with deloads in regards to length of deload, but also how I go about them, and just give myself much less strict rules. So I'm much more flexible. The overriding principle is I need to have taken long enough and not done anything during that time to have elicited fatigue, and therefore also reduced fatigue sufficiently to set myself up for another good mesocycle worth of training, or many, many more weeks of training. And so that can look very different for a lot of people, and you can have fun actually during that deload and experiment in ways that maybe suits you best. And I've also found taking some days off towards the end of the deload in particular to be just really psychologically beneficial. Often when I go into the gym, I want to train hard, and I can't if I need a deload, because I can't physically train hard, which is why you're taking the deload, but two, you obviously shouldn't either. And so it's just kind of junk volume if you're going in there, do that. So I've kind of found, hey, let's see how many days off I need before I can get back in. So this time around, it's going to be 4 days. I tend to find 3-4 days off. Sets me up really, really nicely. I did not show you earlier, but obviously I showed you the breakfast that we had, or the brunch, and then we went out, and I should have actually filmed this, but I didn't even think about it. This is how out of vlogging practice I am. I had a protein bar and a bunch of Snacker Jacks. Oh, the camera's moving. Snacker Jacks, and I had a decaf oat cappuccino, which was actually all right. What else did I have? I think that was it. And then came back here, and I had my usual bowl of oats. As you probably know, if you've dieted a long period of time, especially for contest prep, you get into your way of how you like things done. So I weigh out my oats, of course, but I don't weigh out like my portion of water or anything like that. But I kind of roughly eyeball it, and I know where it should be. And I do it in the microwave, and I know that if I do it a certain way, it's going to come out just like I like it. Really thick. I can then put in my frozen blueberries, let it cool over, put my dark chocolate on top, and it's just like perfection. And I love that meal. And anyone who's competed before or gone through, again, extended diets, you probably have those meals that you just really enjoy. So try to do it here. It's like cooking the oats on the hob. It's just a little bit different. I actually have no idea how much water to then use because I'm doing it in a slightly different way. And then Charlotte wants to ask me a question about oil, don't you?
I'm just going to use a tiny bit.
A tiny bit of oil. That'll be fine. A tiny bit of oil I can handle. So a teaspoon or something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not even that much.
Then, anyway, basically it wasn't how I would normally do it. I didn't have frozen blueberries, right? I had just like packaged blueberries, which I still have blueberries, but they're not quite the same. And it just didn't do what I wanted it to do exactly. Anyway, it was fine. So then had that, polished off the rest of my Snacker Jacks basically now, chocolate Snacker Jacks. I can't get them in any of the supermarkets near me, but they're super handy. It's just like, hey, I know this is this many carbs and I need carbs. Like I said before, I'm refeeding, so my carbs are at 450 grams. So it's a great, easy way to just get carbohydrates in. In hindsight, I probably should have bought some cereal or something, because I actually have my scale here, which I did bring with me so I can track nice and tightly things. Oh God, I feel like this vlog is going to be awful. I have just not set this up well at all. My mind is also not in a great place. What was I going to say? So now we're doing dinner, which is what I started filming for. So with a little bit of a salad here with cucumber and tomato. It's very little, partly because I'm not really wanting that much and Charlotte doesn't want that much either. We have some corn over there. So we're gonna have some corn on the cob. We've got some potatoes going, and we're gonna have one of these Plant Revolution burgers. They're vegan, mostly soy burgers. And yeah, a bun. I'm probably gonna have a couple of hobnobs if Charlotte lets me, because I know I've got macros for that. And I've also got, oh, I have to get them out of the fridge and show you, but Charlotte might show you now. I'm gonna have one of these mousses. So that one's a lemon one. I'm probably gonna have the chocolate one. I can't get these at home, but I really was fond of these mousses when I've had them before. They're kind of like the little protein puddings, but as a mousse. So that's kind of handy, I have those. One of my issues I have found when dieting is if my fiber goes too high, I start feeling bloated, not great. My digestion isn't as good. And that's if it goes much above 45 to 50 grams. It's gonna go above that today because I just haven't been able to control it. And it just has totted up so easily. I think part of it is because I had quite a bit of this sourdough bread, and sourdough actually has quite a bit of fiber included. So it just is what it is. Away from home, traveling, out of routine, it always knocks you a little bit. The other thing that I wanted to just touch on very briefly is on Friday, I had a phone call with my GP basically because I've got some discomfort that I'm going through at the moment, and that they were trying to book me in to go on Friday, but there was no space. So I'm going to go in on Monday now. And it's just meant that discomfort has continued for the weekend, and that uncertainty is still on my mind. And it's just not enjoyable, and it's kind of stressful in its own right because I know it's meant to be deloading and low stress. I'm meant to be away from home, low stress. But a lot of things didn't quite go to plan with the trip in some ways. And yeah, this discomfort that I'm experiencing is obviously not de-stressing. But you just have to kind of get on with these things. And that's the moral of the story with every contest prep. There's nothing, it doesn't go perfectly. And I know once I get past this hurdle, things will be a much smoother ride, and I'm sure it's nothing to particularly worry about. One final thing I did want to touch on, because I'm all about full disclosure. I'm very open. This is comp prep, and this is part of the realities, and I'll have clients who go through these sort of things too, and I think it's useful if they end up seeing this and relate to it, and any other competitors can as well. To be honest, you don't have to compete to relate to this. My digestion has been great. Like I said, the fiber can be an issue, but I've been managing that just fine. And your gastric emptying does slow down. As you get leaner and leaner, you start dieting for longer, the body becomes more efficient at taking in all those nutrients, and you might not pass a number 2 all that frequently. It might be like every other day at some point. It might be every few days at some point. But I've been very regular every day. But since refeeding and my food's changing, my food's maybe changing a little bit, but mostly it's my fat and carbohydrates came up quite a bit, but my protein actually came down. And I don't know exactly what's happened, but I can't say I'm constipated because I don't know what the actual definition of that is. But today I normally would have gone by now, and I haven't. And it's different. I noticed my digestion had been a little bit different the past days. Could be related to this illness type of thing that I've got going on too, potentially. So I don't know, but it's another level of discomfort. And it's just like, I just wish my body was working how I wanted it to at this point, but it's not. Good thing is getting this out of the way at a time when it doesn't matter like how I'm looking, how I'm feeling, particularly at this point. It matters for show day, right? And hopefully everything by then will be so-so.